Wagwan beautiful people, my name is Christian M and welcome to Healing in Humor. And guys, today we have a very special guest, guys. You know, he's a cool broer and he's just joining us today, you know, for some, calm, beautiful conversations. Ndwana, tell them who you are.
So, my name is Scarx Visionary Savage. What else would I say?
Where's the Savage thing?
Savage?
Yeah. What's
also, must I break down the entire name?
Yeah, I know. I like it. I want to know. Like,
know?
It's just me.
Okay, so Scarx Visionary Savage, ne?
Okay.
Scarx, because obviously I have a scar.
Okay.
Ne? So Scar and then Rex. The Rex, like, my personality is big as a T-Rex, ne? You know, the dinosaur.
Ne? That's dope. Yeah, the T-Rex. Yeah.
So that's where the Rex comes into place. And then the Visionary Savage, I'm not just ordinary savage, but I'm a visionary savage because I see this as my third eye, my physical third eye.
You
understand?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the savage part is there because in high school people used to call me Turn On. You know Turn On Savage?
Yeah.
Turn on.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
That's why it's Scarx Visionary Savage.
Oh, I'm gonna have a fit. You can see with the name that actually is gonna be crazy. Okay, yeah. I think before we like dive into the conversations, Don, I think let's break it down with the game. Yeah, and I've got a little game for you, boy.
Okay. What you say?
Are you in touch with your emotions?
Yeah.
I hope
like
you
it.
are.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're playing emotional charades.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna act it out. Then you're supposed to tell me what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, then vice versa, you also do it. Then I'm supposed to guess what the emotion is.
Okay.
You wanna start?
You start.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm so thankful for the opportunity.
Gratitude.
Okay. That was easy. Yeah, you got it. It's your turn now. Ish. That one was too easy, man. Ish. Anger. Frustration. Okay. It's getting hectic. I also have to go deeper. Okay. This is gonna work. Doesn't look like it's gonna work now, but it's gonna work. Like I'm telling you, this is it. This is the plan. It's gonna work.
Motivated.
This is gonna work. Like I'm telling you right now, this is gonna work. You might not see it now, but this is gonna work. This is the way. I don't know, dog. I'm just seeing it in my head, but it's gonna be so great. It's gonna work.
Inspired?
Donna, no, it's gonna work. Like I don't even know how to explain it to you, but it's just gonna work. Like I don't know, man. We don't have what we need, but it's gonna work. Everything's gonna fall into place, and it's gonna work.
Okay.
You know, we don't have the resources, but it's gonna work.
Yeah, motivated, inspired, courageous. I don't know.
No, man, Donna, no, Donna. We'll get investors, dog. I don't know from where, but we'll make a plan. It's gonna work.
Yeah, okay.
Donna, it's gonna work.
Yeah, it is gonna work.
We'll start with what we have.
It is gonna work. Obviously, it's gonna work.
We'll start with what we have, Donna. We'll start with what we have. We don't have the money, but yeah, we'll make it work. I don't know how, but yeah.
You're feeling inspired, bro. You want to make this work.
Nah, nigga.
I don't know. Hopeful. I was close.
You're close. When you said inspired, you're close.
Hopeful.
Yeah.
My bad. English. It's English. Sometimes.
Straight. Okay, I think. Give me one. Tired.
Yeah. Aren't you feeling tired?
I am, dog. I'm actually exhausted, dog. How's been your week, actually? Sorry, dog. I'm just gonna ask you that.
My week has been hectic.
Really?
Yeah.
School?
It's a lot.
How are you balancing that?
Hey, man, we out here. I'm breathing.
Hey, dog, I hear you. Yeah, most importantly, dog, you gotta breathe, dog.
I'm breathing.
Yeah, dog. The reason why we played that game is because I wanted to dive into, tap into the emotion, because I don't think men talk about that enough,
Yeah.
how they're feeling or are they in touch with their emotion? That
Yeah.
when they're feeling a certain, men tend to like. I was talking to
Withhold.
Kay was talking to me about it the other day. He said that when a man is feeling sad most of the time, it comes off as anger. We don't know how to feel emotions on their own. We always try and group them up. How do you deal with like your emotions individually, like all individual emotions? How do you deal with that?
Okay, firstly, there's this saying that men shouldn't cry.
Yeah.
And that is very wrong because after all, men are human. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now if you don't cry, where does all that emotion go to?
True.
Understand? So if you don't allow yourself to feel those emotions, where do you think those emotions are gonna go to?
Oof.
Understand?
Yeah. But my chat is, who should men cry to?
Other men. Other men. Hey, don't trust women. Hey, they always say other men, man. Like open a forum for men. Men's conference.
There's no way. No.
Yeah, if you have a brew of
No,
yours.
you know what I'm gonna be honest. I've always thought about it. They say, okay, there's this whole stigma.
Yeah.
Dog, there will always be a stigma around like a big topic.
Yeah.
And the men don't cry. I get it. Because
Yeah.
men don't usually cry.
Yeah.
Or that's, they do, but that's like the whole stigma that surrounds that whole phrase. But I always ask myself, okay, where should we cry? Like, they want us to cry, but where? So, like, I'm with my boys.
Yeah.
So then, if I feel like crying, I'm just cry in front of them.
Nah, but not all your boys, the boys that you trust.
Okay, that makes sense.
Obviously, you're gonna have your boys, nah, but you won't say everything you're going through to all your boys.
Yeah,
you
true,
have
true,
those
true.
certain people you talk to about certain things. Nah.
True.
So yeah, if you have that bro you trust, then you can cry.
So,
or you can cry alone, and then when you go outside, you can.
When was the last
learn
time you
your
cried?
smile. It was this year.
This year. At least you can cry, boy.
I can.
Yeah, some people can't cry anymore, dog. That's when you know, boy, your mental health is taking some crazy
If you
turns on
can't cry as a man, you're weak.
Oof. Oof. Donna, look at the camera and say that. This is your camera. Tell me,
If you can't cry as a man, you're a very weak individual.
Oof.
Because you crying, that shows you that you are human and you allow yourself to feel your emotions to the fullest extent.
Yeah, that's powerful. But how about crying in front of your woman? What's your take on that?
Me, I can cry in front of my woman.
You can?
I can.
You lie. Have you done it?
Yeah, my last relationship, yeah. I
Yeah?
did, yeah.
Did you like cry, or was it one eye, boy? You know there's a one eye one. Eh?
When she cries, I cry with her.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Because now, she affects me. I understand.
Yeah. So what she feels, you feel too.
Yeah.
I like that.
And it also goes back to me being an empath.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
me, I'm an empath, and I take on other people's emotions. So if you feeling angry, now I'm gonna feel angry without knowing why I feel angry.
Yeah.
But I absorbed your energy. You understand?
But man, I'm thinking about what you're saying, ne?
Yeah.
What are you called when you can't do that? When you can't empathize anymore with people?
You're emotionally dead. Or you're a narcissist.
Narcissist.
Yeah.
Are you always supposed to empathize with people?
I mean, yes. That's what makes you human.
Yeah.
If you can care about others,
Yeah.
you're gonna make.
But don't you think? I find that with most people, ne? The root cause of not empathizing anymore is because most of the time people are taken advantage of. Because of empathizing and all of that.
Yeah.
Dog, I think when you become emotionally numb, ne?
Yeah.
It's not because you're dealing with your own, your own shit. Sometimes it's also because of the way people receive it. Sometimes you feel like, okay, when I was going through my shit, no one empathized with me.
Yeah.
Now, when people come through and they're going through their shit, I have to empathize with them. Do you get it? So that, I think it sort of makes you numb, dog.
Yeah.
It's like hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true though now, but if you're gonna go about life in that manner, don't you think that takes away from the ability that makes you you?
Yeah,
If
true.
you're gonna allow someone who hurt you to change you, then that means they're the one, and you lost yourself in the process.
Yeah.
You understand?
I've just been thinking about mental health entirely. It's never, like, it's never really based on us. If you even self-image, dog, it's never up to us. It's how we think, you know, people are gonna look at us and what they're gonna think about how we look, but we call it self-image. You know, even it goes in reference to what I'm talking about now, that nothing is truly ours, even our thoughts. Like, look at half of your thoughts. It's never just you. Even if it's financial, you're like, oh, okay, cool, I don't have money. I'm not gonna be able to go out. I'm not gonna be able to buy myself food. Ish, now I have to go eat at Mang Mang's house. Ish, now I can't invite my friends over because I don't have food. You know, it starts coming out, boy. You know, I don't know, boy. What do you think is the root cause of all those mental health struggles?
Okay.
Dog, because we've never actually broken down mental health struggles, dog. We just say mental health, but what's the underlying cause, boy, of all these, you know, mental health problems?
So
Can't be
my insight is that as a society at large, everyone is against men in everything they do. You understand? So for men, it's really hard to navigate this world because you have to deal with it on your own. You don't have the privilege of someone playing charming in your life.
True.
You have to figure things out on yourself, by yourself. You understand? So now, when people have a bad image about men, it's because they are also hurt, né?
Yeah.
And if they're hurt, they're gonna perceive all men in a certain light.
Yeah.
Whereas there are some men who still like know their emotions and how to deal with their emotions. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, you are making a lot of. Do you think what you're saying? Do you think it's? I'm sorry to say this, but do you think it's caused by like social media, or is it cultural?
And social media plays a huge part.
Because the men don't cry. I know that's very cultural. Yeah, I heard that since I was a child. That nah,
also
men don't cry. Exactly.
In my Zulu culture,
and it be our mothers, eh? Like, hey.
And that is
That
toxic.
hurts, boy.
That is toxic.
I think that's where toxic masculinity comes from.
That is toxic.
No, think about it. That's where toxic masculinity comes from. Yeah.
Because also me, ever since I was a kid, I never used to be like a loud cry. I would cry like silence with just tears dropping. I would all like screaming.
Inside you're screaming.
No.
Inside you're screaming. The screaming is internal.
Understand? So I took that into my adult life. So now,
Marantona, this crying thing, ne? Crying in front of your partner is a very tricky one, eh?
It's a very tricky one.
What if you're an emotional person as a man? So every week you come there crying, is she gonna look at you the same? What if you cry?
Depending on the woman you have. But that's a tricky.
I don't think any woman would be understanding of like an overly emotional man. Okay, imagine if you cried as much as your girl.
Nah, that's bad.
How would that work? If you cried as much as your... No, we're both being human now. There is no man don't cry. Imagine if I cried as much as my girlfriend. Because you can't put boundaries on emotion. We feel as much as we feel.
True.
So, what if, Ndwana, how many things in a week actually hurt you?
A lot.
You see what I mean?
A lot.
And how many things actually hurt your female partner?
Also a lot.
And how many times does she cry in a week?
A lot.
How many times can a man cry in a week?
Not a lot. Life is not fair. And it's never fair.
And I don't know, dog. Crying without sound is just weird to me, dog. It's like you're on mute, boy.
But I'm a silent crier. That's the thing. I won't make noise.
Nah, I feel like silent criers have like so much anger in them, boy.
Eesh.
Yeah, I feel like it's...
Did you cry loud?
Me? I can't, that's the thing.
I think most men can't make noise.
Why not, guys? That's... Dog...
we feel like it's a sign of weakness. We emasculate ourselves when we do that.
Dog, yet scientifically, that's a sign of life.
Yeah.
You know, at birth, the baby has to cry.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's like we're putting boundaries, like we're putting like, I don't know, a line or expectations on tears.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can cry, but you can't cry loud. You
Because
see?
now if you cry loud, you're
So,
gonna be perceived as
It's
weak.
what you're saying. Yeah, like the whole world is against men.
Yeah.
It's men versus men and it's men versus women.
Yeah.
The whole world. Like we can do these things, but you can't. You can do them, but do them in a manly way. Then somewhere along the line we lose that. That
Essence.
balance of okay,
Yeah.
guys. Or the essence. We can't. You can't put boundaries around emotion, dog. It's so difficult.
It is so guys.
Huh?
That shows how important it is. You say something nice.
Uh.
You're young, you can cry out loud, being a boy, being a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then the idea is then imposed to you. And then once you grasp the idea, you're unable to cry, make it noise. Because now you're aware that you're a man.
Yep.
But when you're not aware,
You see?
and they make you aware. No.
Yeah.
You are a man. You are not going to be able to do that. You can't cry like that. You fall as a kid. If your sister falls, they're like, oh my God, come here. You
Ish.
fall, they're like, you're a man. Don't cry. Go
But-
and hit the ground. Go and hit it.
No, they just blow on it and kiss it. Like that doesn't take away the pain.
But then again, if you think about it, from the ages of 0 to 7, you are unconscious, man. So obviously, when you do something and it hurts you, you're gonna cry out loud. Soon as you reach 7, your mind changes. Now you're conscious of your surroundings. You're conscious
Yeah.
of who you are. You understand? So now, once you're 7 going up, that's where people start telling you, "Indotekali."
Yeah, true.
Apart. Understand?
Because I've always imagined, I've seen a lot of ladies walk
And
down the
have-
street with tears,
Yes.
falling down their face. But I've never seen a man do that. If a man does that, I know. It's either he was fighting.
Nah.
Yeah. There's no he's having a bad day. If you saw a man walking down, Stanley Road here with tears running down his face, you're not going to be like he's having he's sad.
Nah.
You're going to think it's anger.
Nah.
Immediately you think it's anger.
But have you ever thought about look at a boy child and a girl child?
Okay?
Like in most cases, a boy child cries way more than a girl child.
True. True.
You understand?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
A man more emotional.
No, like a boy child. Like take your little brother who's
Okay.
like 7 or 8. A boy child cries way more than a girl
True,
child.
true.
Why is that? Have you ever thought about that? Because me, I know my mother told me I used to cry.
Dog, I think it's men in their most authentic self are very emotional.
Very.
We say women are emotional. Nah, nigga. Men are very emotional. Very emotional. We just don't know how to handle that emotion properly,
And then we don't know who to talk to.
I've never heard of toxic femininity.
It exists.
But it is.
Who talks about it? Toxic femininity. I've never heard of that. You see? Because I feel like most of the time women know how to handle emotion. I think it comes with that maturity that they have, that, okay, good, And mentally, I think also, mentally women are just,
Matured.
more mature and just stronger mentally than men. Because look at the rates of suicide. Who's got the highest rates of suicide between men and
men.
women?
It's
Look at
men.
that.
Because also men deal with a lot of things that we can't really
And
voice
it's suppressed
out.
emotion and all
People,
of that.
the society's pressure on men is so big.
Ish,
It
boy.
gets to men. Like the statistics of women and men committing suicide
Yo.
there's a huge difference.
Boy. Hey, boy, it comes down to the question, what makes a man, or what's a high value man, in your opinion? Let's hear this from a man. Let's talk man to man.
Man to man, okay. A high value man is a man who does what the average man doesn't do. You understand?
So he's employed.
No, not in terms of
I'm
that.
joking, I'm kidding.
Not in
I'm
terms
kidding.
of that, but
Okay.
like how he moves, how he thinks. Like if you can have your own original thoughts and like not go based on what everybody is doing,
Oh,
you are on your way to being a high value man.
true.
If you train your mind and your body, you are on your way to becoming a high value man. You understand? If you wake up early in the morning and you have a certain routine,
Yeah.
you gym, you do your routine, whatever it is you're doing, you're on your way to become a high value man.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand? Because there's the 1% of men. You understand? The 1% of men are the people who challenges society's norms. You understand? So if you can say the right thing in front of a large audience and still stand on your ground on that, you're already on your way to become a high value man, because you don't care what other people say and think about you. You are doing you.
True, true,
You
true.
understand?
Do you feel like you've unlocked that?
Slowly but surely, yeah.
Yeah, it's a journey.
Slowly but surely, yeah.
Donna, you know what, ne? I was thinking about that whole high value man. I don't know, and to a certain extent, I feel like it's an expectation. It's a bar that's also been set, you know? I looked at it like high value men.
Yeah.
High value. So we live in a world where we've placed value on human beings based on what they can do for us or receive and giving and all of that. I don't think there's high value. I think when you're a man, even it applies to both high value man, high value woman. There is no high. I just think you're value already if you're breathing, you know. But we just set all those expectations, you know. I think it's going down there in the world, dog. So people are trying to set these bars whereby they're like, okay, no, don't go for this type of man. Always target this type of man. But people don't understand that this type of man, a man. It's like a warrior boy. I don't even know. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Exactly, it's like a stoic man. It's a man that has a lot of scars and bruises. That is
Scarx.
It's taken. No, it's from battle, boy. It's taken so much, you know, for him to reach this place where he's at, and now he's being called a high value man.
Yeah.
But most of the time, those are the most toxic people ever.
But then again, you have to look at this from this perspective. Men and women are not born the same. Women are born with a value, and they have to keep their value.
Okay.
Like their purity, that's their value.
Ooh.
You understand?
Oh, okay.
And then men build their value as they go up. Hence why a woman will look at a man's future.
Yeah.
And then a man will look at a woman's past.
Oof.
Yeah,
did you guys hear that? Oof.
Yeah, that's that.
You.
Yeah, understand. As
Don't
a
you cook that
man,
one up, boy. You.
as a man, you slowly build your
We need that
family.
machine here. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, boy, you cook that one up.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yes.
Okay, so wait. What happens when a woman loses her purity? Does that mean that value is what is it called? Depreciated. Depreciated, yeah. From the woman's side.
From the woman's side,
Yeah.
if they lose, well, depending on how they lose their purity, if they're gonna lose their purity, what's
Purity.
Purity.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
If they're gonna lose their purity, like in a what's manner, a loosely manner, understand? Like they were reckless with it. They say you should take your virginity up until marriage. Nah?
Yeah.
Now, if you're gonna do that outside of marriage and then you start living a reckless life, and then by the time you want to settle down, you would have a long history of soul ties. Now you are dealing with the emotions of the other men who are inside of you. You understand?
Oof. Also, you think sex is very spiritual
It's
too?
very spiritual. The word sex in itself is sacral energy exchange. That's what sex stands for. You understand? So a woman, okay, let's take a man who's reckless with his sexual life.
Yeah.
And then he just penetrates a woman. The guy who is like going through certain emotions and stuff, you will put that onto the woman. Now the woman is confused as to why she's feeling the way she's feeling.
So it can contribute to mental health?
Yeah, it's deep, bro. It's deep like that.
Are you being for real?
It's deep like that.
So if
me, I'm grieving, nah, and then I sleep with someone who's pure, I'm gonna affect them. Now they're gonna be sad and not know why they're sad. You understand?
So we need to be really careful
very
who we,
deep.
like, you know.
It's very deep.
Okay, but how do you discern that, dog? Like, you know, for like someone that's like sexually active, do you like move with the phone and be like, do radioactive, this one? How do you do it?
But the thing about
Is it just feeling? Okay, how do you? Oh, that's a nice necklace, boy.
Yes,
Okay,
thank
you'll explain that to me. But
yes.
okay, how do you do it personally? You sound very spiritual, also.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
how do you discern?
so sexual energy is creative energy, nah?
Okay.
I understand.
Okay.
If you can harness that energy within yourself,
I like this conversation.
then you are gonna be more creative in whatever you're doing. You're gonna have more ideas on how to go about life. Now, if you can channel that energy inside of you, you'll benefit a lot in terms of what you do and what you're trying to achieve. Understand? But if you constantly trying to bust the nuts, you'll not have the energy to pursue your goals.
Yeah.
Busting a nut takes a lot of energy out of you.
Yeah. True.
Takes a lot of energy. Once you
Yeah.
Are we talking about busting it everywhere or in one place?
He's just talking like specifically choosing the wrong person to do it with. Yeah.
It's about the wrong person, eh?
So like, if I have sex with someone, then immediately I can just feel mentally I'm not okay anymore.
Yeah,
There's been an exchange
if
there.
they are not okay, you also feel okay.
How do I-
But at the time you finish the acts, okay, yeah, really, you just did the deed. Now you're feeling okay.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. But after a while, and you think about it, and now you're gonna feel weird, or you're just gonna feel a certain way.
Oof.
You understand?
So how do you cleanse that? How do you remove all of that? Like, how do you get back to your mental psyche, you know?
Well, there's different ways of cleansing your energy. One is by like lighting incense. Understand?
Is there specific? I've seen the go away tikoloshi one. Which one should I light up?
Any incense.
Oh,
The
okay.
incense itself cleanses the space around you. Understand?
Okay.
Like listening to binaural beats, nah? That also helps, like cleaning yourself and like,
Okay.
because you listening to binaural beats, you are, what's the word I'm looking for? You are changing your subconscious mind.
Ooh,
You
okay.
understand? You are reprogramming your subconscious mind. Understand? That's a way you can cleanse yourself. You can go to nature, walk barefooted in nature and grass. That's you grounding yourself and being connected to nature.
That one,
You
yeah.
understand? You going out and hugging a tree. You are releasing all. Yeah, I know it sounds funny. But it also helps.
Someone
'Cause
told me that, yeah.
Because now when you hug that tree, you are taking all the negative emotions and putting onto that tree. Like going to the ocean and just
Go touch
swimming.
grass.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Nature is the best medicine there is.
Oof.
Nature, and it's all around you. You sun gazing, that's a way of cleansing yourself. Like literally staring at the sun.
I don't think enough human beings know that. Because
Yeah, I understand.
usually when our mental health is deteriorating, we always turn towards substance abuse.
Yeah, I understand.
Hence addiction.
Yeah.
And I read something yesterday. It said that people think addiction is the problem. It's actually the solution. As much as it's damaging, it's what the addict thinks. The addict thinks the drug is the solution to the problem. Because remember, it's heightened. You're dysfunctional, boy. You're always high, and you're trying as much not to feel. So it's never actually the problem. But after what you said right now, it makes more sense that nature might actually be the way.
It's the best medicine, because if you think about it, when a doctor prescribes you with certain medication, it's not supposed to heal you. It's supposed to heal you for that time being up until you get sick again, and then you have to go back to that doctor. Because if the doctor's job is supposed to be fully heal you, then you are not gonna go back to that doctor. So now what? Now the business
it's a
is
vicious
closed.
cycle.
Yeah. Now the business closed. So they give you that medication to help you at a certain time. And
So what? Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Eish, Ntwana, so, okay, what's your take on therapy?
Therapy. Go to therapy.
Would you go to therapy?
As guys, we overlook the idea of talking about your problems to some stranger, but that helps. Because now, as men, there isn't enough forums of us to talk about our feelings.
Yeah, true.
Hence why now they've created like a men's conference type of thing.
Yeah, I went to the wrong one. The one that I went to, I was going down there.
Because women, they have these forums of where they can get together and talk about whatever they are dealing with.
Yeah.
But men, that isn't the case. I understand.
Have you been to therapy?
No, but I want to.
Yeah, same, boy.
I want
Because I've always wondered, dog, if it isn't easy for you to open up to, like, you know, your closest friends and the people around you, how do you do it so easily when you get to a therapist? You know?
I understand.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, if I go there, am I actually gonna, you know? It takes a lot of trust, you know, also, you know, just a stranger now must just open everything, the library and all that.
But my question is, who heals the therapist?
Ooh.
If I'm a healer and my job is to heal other people, who's supposed to heal me?
And I'm thinking, I feel like therapists carry so much
Because now
energy.
people constantly come up to you and vent about their problems to you. So now, as an empath, that takes a huge toll on you.
Yeah.
And now, what now?
Do therapists have therapists?
They do that.
They do?
They do. I think they're supposed to have.
They go through a certain psychological evaluation before they can qualify to be.
So is it a normal therapist or they go to a therapist that's higher than their therapy?
Yeah, I don't know. But all I know is that they have a mental evaluation to be a therapist.
Yeah. I think like there's a hierarchy.
I stayed with, do you know Kani?
Kanye.
Kani from Boston. Okay, never mind the name. She, I was having a conversation with her because she does social work. And she works with children who are abused and whatnot. And I was asking her, then how do you deal with it? She's like, it's a lot for me because when I come home, I'm thinking about it all the time.
Ish.
And her job is to help those kids come forward them, what is the therapy and stuff like that. So they do need their own therapy on their own. Because I spoke to her, she was like, when I come back home, I think of it sometimes.
Hey, boy. Hey, you just made me think, dog. Like, yeah, honestly speaking.
You understand? There's a lot.
What's a mental health disorder that you feel like, yo, boy, this one, like it's
Depression.
a depression, ne?
But do we afford therapy?
Huh?
You just say men must go to therapy. Do we afford therapy?
Hey, that's another
I'm
thing.
just gonna depress. It's not like we don't want to. It's like, yeah, but like, I can't even, bills, bro. You know therapy is expensive.
It's very expensive, eh?
They charge an hour. So most men are what they are, not because they don't want to find help. They can't afford therapy, and we don't have a safe space to go to. Because therapy is you talking to your wife, to your mom, to whatnot.
Yeah.
If you don't have that safe space there, then you need an actual therapist. And you can't afford an actual therapist, then you stop.
Wait, don't we have public therapists?
Wait.
They should
Public
be.
enough.
Huh?
The public enough. Wait.
Okay, but the fact that people don't even know about it, just makes it,
There is enough safe space for men to go and just talk.
Yeah, true. What if your therapist starts laughing at you midway? Like,
I'll never go back.
I'll
Never go back.
Also, the fixed men are much funny now.
That's a valid one.
What?
Can you imagine a world where men are healed? What do you think that type of world would look like?
A very peaceful one.
You think so?
A very peaceful one. A very peaceful
Okay.
one.
We go to therapy because of trauma, right?
Yeah.
Is there a way, and we experience trauma mainly as children, hence the whole inner child theory.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible, social experiment, do you think it's possible to raise a child in what you would think is a trauma-free household?
Yeah, you can.
How would that child turn out like?
Because another thing you have to consider is that trauma isn't just your trauma, but it's also the trauma from your past life. You understand? Generational.
Wait, past lives or
Past
your
lives.
ancestors?
Yes.
Okay.
I understand. Because now there's a thing called generational trauma.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So now if there's a certain thing in your family that's been like destroying you, obviously it's gonna go into the child, and then that child is gonna carry that trauma as they grow up. But now if you are sent in this world to change that, then you're gonna be the black sheep of the family.
Oh, yes.
You understand? And if you're the black sheep of the family now, you are supposed to change that generational curse in your family.
I don't like the term black sheep. I like black horse.
Black horse? Okay.
It's an actual one, that one.
Okay.
Black sheep is the one individual in the family that,
that is the odd one.
The odd one, and people, think isn't gonna make anything out of his life, right?
Yeah.
So the black horse is quite the same, but actually ends up winning, or actually ends up making a huge change. Yeah. But I hear you though.
I understand.
Ish. And I think most of the time, I don't think like parents realize it, but they have
also
a huge contribution in mental health, eh? Like a huge one.
The thing about parenthood is that it doesn't come with an instruction manual.
Ish boy.
So also there, you have to understand that your parents are also going through it.
Yeah.
And also they don't know how to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Deal with their emotions.
Deal with their emotions.
It's their first time at life too.
I understand.
But are we
There's
supposed
no
to be,
manual.
But are we supposed to be understanding of that though?
To some extent, you should be.
Remember, dog, while you were understanding, you're being stabbed, It's like you understanding that, okay, no, I know my mom is abusive, or I know my mom is very toxic. Then you try and make, valid excuses for it, or you put a reason to it that, okay, but my grandmother is also like this, so this is why my mom is doing it to me, And I think it also brings you down, that's what I was talking about, that it also brings you down to that emotional numbness, and you lose that, the ability to empathize and all, because you feel like, okay, cool, you're bleeding with people that didn't cut you, basically. I've dealt with my shit. Then you come up there and project, your stuff also. Because remember, look at you, you're what, you're 20, 22, and you're already able to, distinguish that, okay, this is what's going on with your mom. You're that conscious already. And she's what? She's had 40 years of life, and she still isn't able to at least be like, okay, this is a child. I need to move differently. I need to do the opposite of what was done to me. So sometimes it's like, I think we need to align and just be like, no, that's selfish behavior. We need to cut the string, burn the bridge.
Yes, I hear you, but to some degree, as a parent, well, let me say my perspective. Me, I was raised by a single mother, man.
Okay.
My father passed away while I was still like a child. I was like 7.
Oh shit, sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, that's when I started becoming conscious, understand, of my surroundings. So now, since she's raising me as a single mother, it's a lot on her. To raise a boy child, it's a lot.
Hey, are you the only child or you two?
I'm the only child.
You're the only child?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Understand? And raising a boy child is very difficult.
Yeah, it's not easy, boy.
Understand?
Yeah.
But also me growing up, I felt an anger towards my mother of why is my mother doing like how other mothers are doing. Understand?
Yeah.
Like why am I only getting clothes once a year? I understand?
Yeah.
But now as I grew up, I started to understand my mother's situation. It's okay, my mother doesn't earn a high-paying job. She gets by with the little piece jobs she gets.
And she still tries to make a difference.
And she tries, understand? So I had to empathize with her and understand her situation. Hence why I was able to forgive her, understand? So, because that's another thing that makes you a better individual, is if you can empathize with others and understand their situation and where they're coming from. And if you have the heart to forgive them, then that makes your heart at peace too. Now you can sleep peacefully and not knowing you are not holding a grudge to no one.
Yeah.
You understand? So also me, at some point in my life, I accepted my mother for who she was and how she did things. I was
you
like,
realized
okay,
she was
cool.
human.
I understand.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me go with this. She's not perfect. She raised me as a single mother. She was trying, I understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another thing.
Yo, Yo. That's hectic, boy. Yo. I think we spoke up on depression, and have you actually thought about like mental health disorders and broken them down? You know, when you break down these feelings or, you know, these disorders, it's as if the human mind is contradicting itself. Like, look at anxiety. It's your brain telling you that the opposite might happen. You know? Wait, anxiety is worrying about the future, right? Is it the future? When you're anxious, it's anything future related, right?
Not necessarily.
Can you be anxious about the past?
No.
It's future-based anxiety.
You can have anxiety in the present as well. It doesn't have to be a future thing.
Nah, because you think about it. If you have anxiety in the present, you're anxious about what's about to happen.
So you're always
For
thinking
example,
about the
I'll give you
future.
an example with social anxiety.
Okay?
There are different types of anxiety, guys.
Yeah, true.
So, for example, social anxiety, for example, let's say I have social anxiety, I'm in this space right now. I'm anxious because you guys are here. Like it's, it can be a present thing, it doesn't have to be.
Futuristic.
Futuristic, because if you're anxious of us being here, your thought process is
What do I say?
Like, what do I say?
What do I say? What if they don't like me?
Yeah, so you're conscious of what has to happen.
Yeah.
Thinking of what has to. So it's, I get what Chris is saying. He's not entirely wrong, not entirely
Yeah, but I also get what Kosi is saying, because
He's onto something probably.
Because
Or on something, drugs too.
sorry?
You're either onto something or on something. Could be on drugs too.
Did you hear what Kay said?
Yeah.
He's like, it's either we're onto something or we're on something.
Where are you trying to be on?
The Holy Spirit, bro. Hey, nah, boy, because I was thinking about it. If you break down these things, like break them down segment by segment, they don't make a lot of sense, dog.
Yeah.
They don't make a lot of sense. Like, okay, I've never actually been depressed. I've felt depressed, but I've never been depressed. Then you ask, like, depression also, I don't know, what's depression to you?
Depression is yourself telling itself that it's tired of living a facade.
Oof.
You understand? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Santana, you're making sense.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
I was having the conversation with Kay, then, but it was about suicide.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, depression leads to suicide.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like all these things, all these mental health things. They're always okay. Suicide. Okay, that might be the end. It is the end. Yeah. But my brother broke down the root cause of, you know, or what he thought was the root cause of suicide and depression.
Yeah.
He said that he defined psychosis.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna give an example because we are in the entertainment industry. So he said that sometimes it's conflict mentally, internally, between who you think you are
and who you're supposed to be.
What the world thinks you are, and what you actually are.
Yes.
So who you are as Skarex. This is who I am personally.
Yes.
No facade. This is who I am. Who the world thinks you are, facade. You know, they think, okay, superstar, he's the best singer in the world right now, awards, he's getting good money. Versus who you actually are. You can't even afford electricity. You see, that whole balance, it cracks the mind. Then that's when you start falling into this, you know, hole and stuff like that. Because I think in our last episode, I asked Kelvin that, do you think suicide is linked to lack of purpose? And dog, and I've just been seeing a lot of, you know, passionate people committing suicide. And
can I add on to that?
Yeah, you can.
So if you are living your authentic life,
Okay.
and you're doing what you love, I see no reason for you to be depressed. You understand? Well, there's many factors that could lead to you being depressed, but if you are living authentically and you're doing what you say you love and you're doing it to the fullest capabilities, then I see no reason why you should be depressed. You understand? Because now, if you are living a life that you are not happy about, so that's a facade, né? So now depression is your body telling you it's tired of living a forced life. You understand?
Yeah.
So if me, I wake up and do what I love on a daily, and that fuels me, then I see no reason for me to be depressed. I could be stressed, not depressed. You understand?
Yeah. Eish, boy, human beings are so complex, bro.
It's
How
a
do you
lot.
how do you deal with, like, you know, maintaining that, you know, mental ease? Do you
I
is that the hugging
meditate.
trees or
I meditate.
is this meditating?
Yeah.
How do you meditate?
Well, there's different forms of meditating, but I mostly practice mindful meditation.
Okay.
Yeah,
How do you do that?
that is sitting by yourself, listening to binaural beats, like I said earlier on, and just being in one with yourself at that moment, and like listening, while allowing your thoughts to freely roam around, but you need to like center.
Or you don't entertain them?
Yeah, I understand. It's called mindful meditation.
Ndona, my mom is calling non-stop here. Excuse me. Let me call her back now.
Are they still shooting?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yes, no. Mental health, this one. It's a mental health. Let me hear what she's saying. Hey, mom, what's up? Are you in... Where are you? Where are you? Okay. Can you give me like 20 minutes? I'm still at home. Okay, yeah. Okay, mom, wait. Okay, it's fine, mom, I'm sorry. Okay, wait, mom. Okay, wait, mom, wait, it's fine. It's okay. Okay, mom. Yeah, mom, it's fine, I'm coming. Okay, mom, I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming, it's fine, I'm coming. Hey, my mom is here, dog.
We're on 15 minutes, just do 5 minutes closing.
5 minutes closing, ne? Yo,
Okay.
boy, my mom, hey, this lady.
I man, appreciate
Hey,
your mother, man. Like-
Wait, Donna, wait, sorry, guys, sorry. Donna, can you explain the necklace, boy?
Yes.
If you leave it, I'm stealing it. I want the one that looks like a high five,
High five.
but it's upside down.
Yeah, well, it's called a hamster hand, evil eye.
A hamster.
Hamster hand.
Hamster.
Yeah. Hamster hand, evil eye is for good luck and protection against negative energies.
Ooh.
Yes.
So when you go around someone that's got negative energy, does it heat up or something?
No, it repels them. Let's say, okay.
chases them away.
Yeah, it chases them away.
So it's like,
Vibrations or like...
how does that work? Like, do they immediately start burning?
Nah. It hits them deep inside.
Has
And
anyone
it's
ever told you that, oh my goodness, I actually wanted to say hi, but I felt something that told me to go away?
People have weird ways of telling me they freaked out. It's either you're freaked out by me or you love me, you understand?
Oh. Okay.
So if,
Antonio, that's Korobela. She's lying to us, Chief.
if you want to put it like that, I'll wait.
Nah, I'm
But it
kidding,
works.
So what's the rock? That rock is very nice.
Yeah, it's amethyst, it's my birthstone.
So what does that do?
Also, it's protection stone. So all of these is spiritual. It's my spiritual
I like that.
children.
It looks very Egyptian.
Yeah.
Is that
That's-
the iris eye or something?
That's the eye of Horus.
Eye of Horus.
Yes.
What does that one do?
Also for protection.
Antonio, protected. Antonio, have 1, 2, 3 layers of protection.
sir.
Damn,
Also
nigga.
here, crystal bracelets.
Protection also.
Yes.
Antonio, you have a very
Calm.
zen energy, dog. I don't know if,
Yes.
like, yeah, but you have a very, you know, I don't know you well, but
Yeah.
like you have a very zen energy around you, dog. Like,
man,
yeah,
shout
like if
out.
they ever told me that you're involved in like conflict, ne, I'll be like,
Just know
nah.
they fucked up.
Exactly.
not
You're
me.
very zen, boy.
I avoid the conflicts by all means
So
necessary.
I'm a Marvel fan, so while I'm looking at that, I don't know if you know Doctor Strange. I just feel like you're gonna
Yeah,
Then
do that.
do
Okay,
the thing, and then the
okay.
stone is gonna,
Hey.
the arm is gonna, hey boy. But that's dope, dog. Hey
Yeah.
boy, Scarix, dog. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yo, boy, you're amazing, and we're probably gonna have a part 2 on this.
Say
But
less.
yo, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, it's this camera. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, man, this is our guest. His name is Scarix. Tell them the name of the podcast you're starting soon.
Oh,
Give them that, give them that.
The name of the podcast I'm about to start is called the Healer's Room Podcast. Yeah, so it's centered around mental health, spiritual wellness, and it's gonna be an informative podcast. Yeah. So check it out. It's on Instagram at the Healer's Room Podcast, and also check my page out. I'm a photographer. Check me out on Instagram at scarx_visionary_savage_. Yes, sir.
Peace out, peace out, peace out. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.